What time do you wake up and what time do you leave for school?
I wake up at 6 and I leave my house at 7.
How many hours of sleep do you think you get at night?
Probably like 4.
What time do you go to bed?
Like 10, 11.
I play volleyball. It ends at 9:30 and I get home at 10:10. I play volleyball and it ends at 9:15 and I get home at 9:30.
I play baseball and practice goes until 9:30 and I don't get home until about 10:30.
According to sleepfoundation.org, the optimal amount of sleep for adolescents is approximately 9.25 hours nightly. More than half of teens aged 15 to 17 sleep 7 or fewer hours per school night. Nearly 60% of middle schoolers don't get enough sleep on school nights, and for high schoolers, that number is over 70%.
Both the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that both middle and high schoolers begin no earlier than 8:30 a.m. Biology plays a large factor in the sleep cycles of children and adolescents. Around the beginning of puberty, most adolescents experience later sleep onset and wake times, also called phase delay. This phase delay can shift the body's internal clock back by up to 2 hours. As a result, the average teenager cannot fall asleep until 11 p.m. and would do best waking up at 8 a.m. or even later.
How much time would you say you spent on homework?
I probably spend about like 2 hours a night on my homework, and when I'm really busy during the day, I'll probably get it done.
I usually spend around 2 to 3 hours on homework every night.
If students have to stay up late with homework and stuff, it can lead to severe sleep deprivation, which can lead to concerns to school starting early. It can increase risks of bad behavior with bullying and fighting. It can raise a higher risk of athletic injuries. It can increase depressive symptoms because you'll be tired more and just won't have a lot of energy. And it increases the risk of student car accidents. The lack of sleep can lead to long-term physical and mental consequences, and poor quantity and quality of sleep can lead to health concerns like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and obesity.
Have you seen a change in students today from our 9:30 start?
Yeah, I would say the students were more attentive and energized in class today. A lot more focused than they normally are. On normal days, it seems like a lot of them try to sleep during class. Had no problems with that today. I think teenagers are chronically underslept, so a later start time would definitely help with that.
That was good. Do you see a difference from students from normal school start time compared to a 9:30 start?
I think it's pretty obvious that later in the morning you're getting more productive. Productivity from really all walks of life, whether it's in the school building or in the office setting or any other work setting. Later in the day, you're just a little more awake, you're a little more lively. And so those 8 a.m. classes can be hard. You move those back to 9:30, we're definitely getting a little more. I think there's another side of that, and that does that mean we're pushing everything back, and what's that costing us in the afternoon? So there's always that to think about and measure and examine. But if it's just the question of, is there more productivity when we are later, starting later in the day, I think that all classes and all work settings are getting a little bit more productivity when you are a little bit later on in the morning, a little bit more awake, a little bit more lively.
So from what we've shown in our documentary, from interviews to statistics, there are plenty of reasons why school should start later. A list of these benefits are improved attendance and graduation rates, better grades, fewer students falling asleep in class, reduced irritability and depressive symptoms, fewer disciplinary issues, and decline of car crashes.
Studies state that there has been a 16.5% decrease in the teenage car crash rate after school was pushed back to an hour.
In the near future, when schools start later, we will be able to see an improvement in the generation.